Good morning. How is everyone? Welcome back to morning devotional, daily devotional. It's Monday morning. I don't know what date it is. I think it's the 13th. I'm still waking up. So today's affirmation is a big one because I don't know anybody yet who doesn't suffer from addiction of some kind, whether it be food addiction or alcohol addiction or drug addiction or addiction to a behavior or what have you. Pretty much everybody I know has something that they're addicted to. Even the person that I admired the most in my youth, as I grew up, I realized he had a serious sugar addiction, and he now has diabetes. Let me rephrase that. I have had my own addiction issues, but I had never had sugar addiction until I was older. I was in my 30s before I had a sugar addiction. So the affirmation today is about addiction. It's about running from the self, fear, which is what creates the addiction, combined with the behavior, and not knowing how to love yourself. Because if you struggle with loving yourself, if you struggle with understanding yourself, you become more vulnerable to addictive behavior. And addictive behavior can lead to chemical addiction. And chemical addiction can come from food, it can come from medicine, it can come from a lot of different things. So the affirmation today is, I now discover how wonderful I am. I choose to love and enjoy myself. I now discover how wonderful I am. I think it's really interesting, that particular phrasing. I now discover how wonderful I am. Because in each moment, when you're dealing with addiction, you have to be in the moment. You have to be aware that you're reaching for the sugar cookie. You have to be aware that what is it that's triggering fear in you that you are perpetuating that same behavior. Okay? And I choose to love and enjoy myself. I choose this moment to love myself, and I choose this moment to enjoy the moment, enjoy myself in this moment, no matter what the moment is, instead of sitting with fear. You know, I say it all the time, there's only two emotions in the universe. There's love and fear, and everything develops from there. So when you're indulging in the 15th sugar cookie from the holidays or what have you, you are escaping from something you're afraid of. You know, it could be you're afraid that your boyfriend will leave you. You can be afraid that you're not strong enough in a situation. You can be afraid of anything. It could be anything. It can be fear about, it could be anything. I don't even have any examples. Excuse me. Addictions, we all have them. And some addictions are good things. Like, well, now I can't think of any of those. I'm not doing very good this morning. It's Monday. The biggest thing to focus on today is, I now discover how wonderful I am, and I choose to love and enjoy myself. And it does have to do with addictions. So I am in week 2 of my own dietary rework. And I have had a pretty serious sugar issue in the last probably about 11 years now, 10, 11 years, because My partner has sugar issues, but his sugar handling, he kind of gets around it, so to speak. He can get away with having ice cream 3 nights a week if he wanted to, because he works out 5 nights a week. I don't do that. And I can't eat the amount of sugar he does. I can't even eat portion sizes the way he does. I cannot look at food the same way he does. He needs to look at it. This is how many calories I need to get through the day to function. And even when I was working out, I couldn't think that way. I would gain weight. So I have to rework my own mental place and how I address issues so that I don't become the size of a bus. That's a real fear. And that is a fear for me that also drives my food choices. So when I'm not on guard and when I'm not paying attention, I eat bigger portions. I try to eat with him bigger portions. I try to keep up with him in how he eats. And I eat poor things. I eat Dairy Queen because he's sitting next to me eating it, so I'm going to eat it. I have to be strong to not do those things. And I have to be mindful, and I have to, in each moment, discover who I am and choose to love myself and care about what it is that I'm mindfully putting in my body. You know, every morning I drink bullet tea, which is black tea, gives me my caffeine, keeps me out of the mold because I can't drink coffee. A little bit of cream, because that's good fats, and some paleo protein powder, which is chocolate, stevia, and what do they call it? Bone broth powder, basically, is what it is. It's a particular type of mix. So that gives me the illusion of having something sweet, but it is creamy and nice and fulfilling in the morning, and a little bit of protein. It keeps the craving at bay. It helps me make good choices with food, because I'll get done with my first tea and then I'll be a little bit hungry after my medicines, because I have to take medicine on an empty stomach. It's quote unquote empty stomach. This counts. Doesn't count. And then I'm hungry for breakfast, which is the most important meal of the day. And I cannot do intermittent fasting the way some people do. Some people do intermittent fasting where they eat nothing except they drink coffee until like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They have a meal and a snack in the evening. If I ate that way, I'd be the size of a bus. I can't do that. My intermittent fasting has to start the other direction. So everybody has to find what works for them. I spent this beautiful weekend crafting and making things. It was wonderful. And I got time to myself. And when you take time to yourself, it helps refocus. It helps with things like today's affirmation about discovering how wonderful you are and loving yourself and enjoying yourself. So I hope you all have a beautiful day. I hope this affirmation helps you today. I hope you stay mindful and aware of your addictions so that you can pull through and make changes in your behavior that make you happy. Some addictions are okay and some are harmful. Just pick and choose. Have a beautiful day. Have a blessed day, and I will see you tomorrow in prayer. Blessed be.